Recently, a video showing a woman on China's high-speed trains has gone viral online. She was blocking the train doors with her body. This incident didn't happen in a movie. It occurred at Shenzhen North Station. According to reports, the woman did this to wait for her delayed companions. The woman was traveling with a group of 5 people. After passing through ticket checks, she and her daughter boarded the train, while the other 3 went to the opposite side of the platform to board a train going in a different direction. As the train doors were about to close, the 3 were still not on board. The platform's departure bell rang, and the train gave a warning sound. The atmosphere became tense, and the woman used her body to block the doors. The station staff and train crew were startled when they saw this, and immediately rushed over to persuade the woman. The 2 staff members used a loudspeaker to tell her to move her leg, and tried pulling her back into the train, but the woman ignored them. She tightly held onto the doorframe and shouted loudly. After a while, a boy and a woman slowly walked over with their luggage. Meanwhile, her companions made their way from the other platform and finally boarded the train. Finally, the woman withdrew her leg from the doors. After the incident, Shenzhen Railway Police acted swiftly, and on April 19th, they caught the woman and summoned her for further investigation. The way the situation was handled showed a typical Chinese-style crisis management. The authorities acknowledged the facts and downplayed the impact. The announcement admitted the woman forcefully blocked the train doors, but quickly emphasized that no train delay occurred. This is a common strategy used to minimize the seriousness of the event and avoid questioning the overall management of the high-speed rail system. The underlying message was, although her behavior was bad, the system is strong and unaffected. In the end, the woman was administratively detained for 10 days, fined approximately $274, and was blacklisted by the railway. This resolution shifted the focus to punishing the individual, the event from broader social problems, management flaws, or systemic issues. The problem was seen as an isolated incident caused by one passenger, with no fault found in the system itself. Ultimately, order was maintained. However, this handling has led to new doubts. Some believe the punishment was too lenient, and the potential risks could trigger a chain reaction. This shows that some members of the public feel the administrative detention wasn't a strong enough deterrent, and didn't fully address the deeper risks exposed by the incident. Public reaction online has mostly been of anger. Many people said, if the train is delayed by just a minute, the risk of an accident increases exponentially. What if she gets trapped and dies? Who's responsible? Is her family's tardiness more important than the lives of everyone else on the train? It's important to note that high-speed train doors can exert a force of 300 kilograms. If the doors close forcefully, it could lead to fractures or even amputations. Interestingly, amidst the anger, calls for blacklisting and lifetime bans were particularly loud. This not only reflects a demand for punishment, but also a strong desire for order and acceptance of strict measures, even going beyond the existing legal framework. In short, based on online comments, the term quality of character has become a frequent topic. These comments are not just emotional outbursts, but also point to the real dangers involved in the incident. The high-speed rail system is a precise and interconnected network, where every little delay can trigger a chain reaction, affecting subsequent trains and even compromising safety. The woman's actions posed a significant safety risk to both herself and the staff trying to stop her. The public's anger stems from the frustration that people who follow the rules in public spaces often face disruptions from those who don't. This woman's actions tapped into that collective experience of being inconvenienced by rule breakers. As soon as the video went viral, netizens started investigating at lightning speed. Within 24 hours, the woman's identity was revealed. It was uncovered that she was a Chinese language teacher at a prominent primary school in Hefei. The news sparked a flurry of comments in the online forums, teaching students to follow the rules but acting like a high-speed rail assassin? And how can someone with this kind of quality be a teacher? It's been reported that the woman has been dismissed from her job. This incident at Shenzhen North Station is not an isolated case. Over the past decade, similar scenarios have been played out in China's public transportation sector. One well-known example involved a man who refused to give up his seat on a train. The confrontation went like this.
I didn't tell you to give up your seat. Did I say you should give it up?
It's not about whether you should give up your seat. This seat is mine, and when you sit in my seat, you should give it up. You can think whatever you want, but just don't delay me from sitting in my seat.
You, people like you, have no sense of righteousness or morality. How do you manage your life at such a young age?
To everyone's surprise, after the two argued, the seat-hogging man continued to occupy the seat and even took off his shoes to sleep soundly on the train. In response, the passenger who was deprived of the seat couldn't help but sigh. He said, "When we're out in public, we should have more manners." In the comments section, some people angrily remarked, "Why hasn't anyone done something about him? He occupies someone else's seat and still says the other person lacks morality? Now occupying a seat has become justified? I want to sit in my seat."
Why are you so stubborn? Just give me some space.
You can stand and charge your phone.
I'm staying right here.
Why should I sit somewhere else? This is my seat.
10 minutes. Just 10 minutes.
I want to sit right down, okay? I'm really tired. I'm making it easier for you. Who's making it easier for me? Do you always have to go out and cause trouble? It's not me taking your seat. It's you taking mine, man.
Don't shout. Don't shout.
You've never been on a train, have you, big brother? Miss, you should find the conductor. Find the conductor.
You're not giving up our seats, and I also want to charge my phone. He insists on making me sit in his seat, and we're both really tired. Yeah, you can charge your phone. I'm not stopping you from charging.
Your child is occupying someone else's seat and now sleeping. I already told you, look, there are empty seats. You could at least let the child move to another seat. Even lie down and rest there.
How am I supposed to pick him up? You tell me. He's sleeping soundly. There are two women, one man and one woman, saying he's occupying their seat. I told him to call the police. Then find me the seat numbers 13 and 14. Unexpectedly, the woman who was occupying the seat, unwilling to comply, chose to call the train police. She initially thought the police would help her keep the seat, but the situation didn't unfold as she hoped.
Why should you take someone else's seat?
Wait, I'll grab my stuff.
You are still occupying someone else's seat, and you're acting so arrogantly.
Don't take pictures here. There's nothing to take pictures of. If you want to take photos, I'll take them too. Recently, a video showing a passenger conflict on Beijing Metro Line 5 went viral online, sparking widespread discussions on respecting workers and opposing discrimination. The video shows an elderly man repeatedly insulting a migrant worker for his clothing, which led to the man being administratively detained by the police. The video and related information circulating online revealed that the incident occurred when a migrant worker, wearing work clothes, quietly sat on the edge of a seat to avoid disturbing others. A 61-year-old man, well-dressed and identified as Mr. Zhao, suddenly began to verbally attack the worker, calling his clothes dirty and likening him to someone begging for food. The migrant worker tried to explain that he wasn't crowding or leaning on anyone, but the elderly man didn't stop, even worsening the situation by making derogatory remarks about the migrants' region, saying things like "go back to your dirty hometown," and claiming superiority by emphasizing that he was born in Beijing and has managed over 1,000 people. During the confrontation, a female passenger intervened, expressing her dissatisfaction with Mr. Zhao's behavior. She willingly chose to sit next to the migrant worker, stating that she didn't mind his appearance and rebutted the elderly man's discriminatory comments. Her actions received widespread praise, both in the crowd and online. After the incident spread online, Beijing police intervened quickly. According to the latest announcement, due to Mr. Zhao's disruptive behavior on the subway, his actions were classified as creating a disturbance, which caused negative social impact. He has been detained by the police. In recent years, with the widespread use of smartphones and mobile internet, the issue of noise pollution on high-speed trains has become increasingly prominent. Loud phone calls, videos, and music playing without headphones, and uncontrolled children have become new sources of conflict, sparking wide discussions about the right to a quiet public space and whether silent carriages should be established. Airplanes, as relatively closed spaces, have higher requirements for order and safety, but improper passenger behavior still occurs, such as unauthorized opening of emergency exits, smoking on board, ignoring crew instructions, and arguments or even fights over luggage or seat issues. After flight delays, some passengers are over the top in defending their rights, leading to air rage or aircraft disturbances. Subway carriages and platforms, as the main arteries of cities carrying huge passenger flows, showcase public behavior. Uncivilized acts like blocking train doors, eating in the carriages, loud talking, occupying multiple seats, and begging or continue despite regulations. Though metro management rules have been improving and enforcement has been strengthened, these small evils persist stubbornly, consuming operating resources and passengers' patience. These cases show the diversity of disorderly public behaviors in public transportation. Although the reasons vary and the forms differ, they often point to similar underlying causes: a lack of awareness of rules, the prioritization of personal interests, and a lack of emotional control. As a result, result, the public believes that when these behaviors are simply dismissed as a lack of quality, it is clearly too superficial. What needs to be studied in depth is what kind of environment and mindset led this woman act so self-righteously. The public believes that the woman's behavior, blocking the train doors at the high-speed railway station, clearly exposes multiple issues on a personal level, issues that are closely related to the widely discussed concept of civility. First, her behavior showed a complete lack of awareness of rules and public safety. The high-speed rail, as a precisely operated public transportation system, relies on schedules and safety protocols. By forcefully blocking the doors, she completely disregarded the responsibilities that come from using public transportation. Chinese tourists have become notorious both domestically and abroad. They spit, they litter, and they run red lights. There's also an alarming rise of police having to stop children for traffic violations. One netizen wrote that these discussions share a common theme. The lack of civility in China stems from a severe lack of awareness of rules. Some commentators have pointed out that such incidents are not only caused by individual factors, but may also be deeply connected to China's unique governance model and its internal contradictions. China's ideological education system has long focused on grand narratives and political loyalty. However, it often seems formalized and slogan-driven when it comes to cultivating public morality, awareness of rules, and the spirit of contracts, areas that are closely related to daily life. When official media heavily promote China's speed and the rise of a great nation, its ordinary citizens' disruptive behavior on public transportation is ironically a subversion of this grand narrative. It reminds people that modern infrastructure does not automatically bring with it a matching modern civic consciousness. Although the rule of law is written into high-level documents, in practice, expedience often prevails. In this case, if the video hadn't gone viral and sparked massive public attention, would the woman's behavior have been dealt with so quickly and formally? The public's general skepticism reflects a lack of trust in the fairness and consistency of the rule of law. People tend to believe that in terms of outcomes, delay or potential accident of the train may matter more than the quibbles of the passengers. The government has long promoted the so-called harmonious society and institutional advantages, emphasizing order and stability. However, the frequent occurrence of incidents like this expose the weak foundation of social trust and the widespread anxiety over rule awareness. People are deeply aware of the fragility of public order and lack confidence in whether others will follow the rules. This insecurity contrasts sharply with the picture the government paints. In response to the woman blocking the train doors, there has been a strong call online for measures like lifetime bans and even blacklisting and execution. This is a reflection of the severe punishment mentality. Although the emotional response expresses anger towards disorderly conduct, it may overlook the complex and underlying causes and lean towards a simplistic and forceful solution. However, some netizens have questioned, when the public fails to follow rules, many advocate for harsher punishments and stronger control measures, such as searching citizens for violations like improper pet ownership, restricting bloggers' speech through real-name systems, or even directly intervening in online videos. What they fail to realize is that increasing regulation will escalate conflict between citizens and authorities. After all, no matter how strong or omnipresent the power, can it constantly monitor the public like a shadow? Other netizens believe that the establishment and maintenance of social order cannot rely solely on tightening regulations and increasing punishments. True rule awareness stems from recognizing the legitimacy of the rules, trusting in fairness and justice, and fostering basic respect and understanding among social members. No matter how far-reaching the power is, it cannot replace the internal recognition and self-awareness of citizens.